I'm going to tell you a couple of evolution stories which have tickled me, because we are making this, we've got 1 day left shooting, but we'll be making the programme for the next few months about evolution. And we've approached the topic in a slightly different way. So we obviously haven't started chronologically, way back and then come to this point in the present. So we've divided our programmes into various different topics, and one of them was the evolution of feeding. So at a certain point, we discuss the fact that early animals were essentially phagocytosing. So if you think of your amoeba as an organism approaches a potential food resource and it envelops it in a vacuole. So basically it wraps its body around it, and then it's contained within the body of that animal, and it then digests it. Problem is that once it's digesting it, and through the process of digesting it, can't do any more feeding in that particular part of its body. It has to wait until it's fully digested, and then it has to break open that vacuole and ingest that food back into the environment, the waste products of that, before it can then recover and feed again, all of which is enormously inefficient. So what happened was that these animals that were ingesting food this way found that it was a better method if they ingested the food, and then rather than wait until it'd been digested and basically pump it back out of the same way it came in, essentially through a mouth, it would help if you had a tube that it could pass through whilst it was being digested, and then it would pass out the other end of the animal. And that further meant it could maybe continue eating at the same time, thus improving efficiency. So basically then you've got not an animal with just a mouth, you've got an animal with an anus. Now, if you've got a mouth and an anus, therefore you've got a progression of whatever that food source is through the body that's being digested, then you want it only works one way. I mean, we all know. So you've got to have food going in the mouth and waste products coming out of the anus. So from that point of view, where the mouth is, you want that to get that as close to the food as possible. And therefore, that's the end of the body that you want to find the food. So what we see at this point is that the sensory capacity of those animals to find food migrates or evolves at essentially the end where the mouth is. And therefore you get eyes or any chemical sensors, noses, whatever, at that end of the animal. So essentially what I love about this is you can't have a head without an arse. The evolution of the head was an artefact of the fact that we had an arse. It's very TV friendly, that's not. I can imagine that going down very well in the Radio Times.